Hello world. Today I'm gonna try to make something, one of the Martian rigs. I'm always modifying something, making something to make my bait more usable, user-friendly. Alright. Don't remember the name of these hooks, but you know, they have a keeper on it. And you know, I'm kind of tight and I like to make things, so I want to make something like this with one of my Superline Gamakatsu hooks. I made keepers on my Ned rig hooks to keep the baits on that didn't have keepers. You know, when I would customize some, make some mushroom jig heads out of some round worm head jig heads. So, the thing is, I'm gonna try to make a keeper on here to keep my goat from coming off. A lot of time it slips down, and I'm trying to avoid that when I'm fishing with the bait slipping down. The little V-neck does pretty good, but I'm gonna add a piece of wire right here so when I go over it'll keep it. We're just gonna play around and see how that works, you know, you know me. So the only thing I could really find today was one of my steel wire brushes to get the material from. I scrap from whatever looks like it's gonna work. So I'm gonna cut one of these strands off. Once again, Martian uses whatever, world. I don't discriminate. Alright, world, I had to go get me some pliers. My little piece of wire is kind of bent, so we're gonna just do a little something to straighten it out. Let's take some of the bends out. I'm gonna re-bend it anyway. Get it a little bit more straighter. All right, cool. So now, take my hook, and I think I'm just gonna place it on the shank of the hook like that. So how I'm gonna secure it is I'm gonna use me some, I have some 15-pound braided line. This is what I'm gonna use to start in my binder. Takes a little time, but it's worth it in the long run when you can keep your bait on your line. So what I'm gonna do is just put it on there. I'm not worried about. Once it's right there, you just take your line and just start wrapping it like you tie a fly. Start wrapping it. Wrapping it. Get that wire covered to where you're happy. Go all the way to the end. See, I'm going all the way to the end. Coming back over a couple times. Alright, now that's on there. So now, I'll just tie a little basic knot. Big old hands. A little simple one time. All right. Piece of metal's on there. What I'm gonna do? Snip them as short as I can. Without pulling the knot loose, but I think I did. But that's okay. I'll show you why. Super glue gel. Super glue gel is your friend. So now I'm gonna take your little super glue gel. Gel's important because it helps you can control it a lot better. Come on, baby. There we go. Just a little bit on there. Go around so you get your little generous amount of super glue on there. Alright, see my tag is coming from around. I can take any little stick and use it to smooth the super glue around. The tag is being worse, but as the glue tacks up, it's gonna bind all this together the way it won't come loose at all. It's gonna lock the braid in place. That braid's not gonna let that little keeper go. Just like to make sure I got a nice little coat. Then once it dries, that's it. The keep's gonna stay right there. See how my little tag end disappeared? It's laying flat now. Alright, look at that. Using stuff right around me. Okay, we let that dry up. The next one I'm gonna do is cut this kind of short. This is a prototype where it's the first time I'm actually doing it. So, in theory, if I'm correct, that should keep my goat on. That should keep my goat on right there. So, we're gonna give it a second to dry up, because if I put it in there, the super glue is gonna hold. But just having this braid on there, if I put super glue on that braid and go in it, that's gonna help to keep it in there. Keep it in there with this Elastec. You know I love the Elastec. So, cheap. Dry it up with your hand. I'll edit. All right, world. Now let's see if my creation worked. Top back on our super glue first. All right, that's what we came up with. Let's see how it works. All right. So, go in my goat. In. Come out. Turn him. Pull him over that keep I made. Go in the body. Now, that keeper, look at that, world. He's not gonna come down. You know, if I take him off, he's not coming down anymore. He's stuck on there for me now, world. I think I solved my problem, and I can use the hooks I like. Just takes a little second to rig it. That's the man right there. That's gonna save me and keep my goat on there. All right, world. Old wide brush, snips, 2-aught super line hook to make my keeper for the goat. 15-pound braid, super glue, piece of wire. This is my tools. This is what I use. Hello, world. Marshall. Out.